Alright. We are on a very unfortunate and long segue. That was probably not my finest time. But that's okay. And we will get back to work. So currently, if you guys are coming in slowly but surely, this is about 1,000 foot of coax sitting right here. I believe 6, 7, 8, maybe 900 foot or so of coax just sitting right here. Yeah, this is let's just call it a project. There's a project. There's a bit of wire that I gotta get finished. It's all sitting right here, and we're gonna slowly pull them off one by one, and then we're gonna get focused on them and get as much done as I can today, and then we will continue work after the weather clears up. Weather should clear up sometime next week. Thursday is my last day of operations now, so I will start pulling these off, and let's get to work. So let's pull this back real quick. Try not to let this thing fall off of here too much, because I don't have to deal with it. All right, it didn't fall yet, so that's okay. All right, got one right there. This spool is one of the spools that I'm going to be working with. It's got a split feed on the end of it already. You guys can see how that looks. So I've got to do some work on that. I'll be doing a couple connectors there. And then this coax has also got a split feed on the end of it. Right here. So this one right here is going to get put over here. And we'll be working on that. So that is 240 foot of coax right there. Some short jumpers and stuff right here. I won't need either one of these right now, so I'm going to put them aside. So we'll start grabbing coaxes and pulling them off the pile. So that was two shorter jumpers right there. This one right here that I just pulled off is a 90 foot cut for a harness for another customer. I've got three 90 foot cuts in here. This one right here is a 75 foot cut for a different customer. I'm going to set the 90s. I don't know if I should really do that, but I'm going to set with the 90s with the 90s, the 75s with the 75s, and any of the oddballs. This is a 120 footer right here. That's for a different project. So I'm making a little coax house, per se. A place where I can put all my different coaxes up. There's a 90 right there, and there's another 90. So I move the two 90s. I'll put them over here with the other 90. So let's grab first spool. So I've got some connectors. Ignore the digital bird. I was doing a video for a customer. I've got coax going all over the world now. Oh, excuse me, not coax, but meters going all over the world now. So that's pretty cool. So you guys will see some cool stuff. All right. So these two got to be built right here. I'll get them built first. And then I'm going to build one other jumper. And that will be my focus today. So it's going to be a little hard to get this on camera. So I'm just going to have to rotate you guys over here. And then rotate this over this way. And we'll try this and see how it works. Alright, so maybe I'll get to see your guys' feedback. Maybe it won't give me no trouble no more. I've got a, is that a mirror display? Look, I'm on the left-hand side. I'm on the right-hand side there. How does that work? Hold up here. I'm on the right-hand side. This is backwards. How do I fix that? That's weird. Transform, flip, stretch. How does that work? Just reset. Oh, I don't know if I want to do that. Flip to screen. What? Whatever, who cares? You guys can see me on the left. You guys can see me on the right. That'll be fine. TikTok is correct. Facebook and YouTube is definitely very weird at the moment. That's odd. I don't understand that. Okay. Not like it really matters. It's just literally just 180. So technically, even though it says I'm on the left right now, this is my left arm. So if I'm stretching my left arm, that means I should be on the left-hand side of your screen, not reaching to the right. Sorry. Small distraction. That was confusing. Oh, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you, Lewis. I'm going to try to go ahead and lay this out real quick in a somewhat decent fashion. And then I'm going to measure and figure out how long I've got right there. I use my rinky-dink measure because it's kind of can form around these connections pretty good. Let me go ahead and my hands are pretty bright. I don't know why. So let's move my. I got an ND filter on this one. How does that work? Yeah, there. That one's too much. Something like that. That'd be all right. Now my hands ain't crazy. On this one, they're about the same. Should be fine. Questions, guys. If you got questions, let me pop the chat back up over here so I can see. Move that down there. Oh, whatever. I'll do that. That's good enough. So, hey, YouTube land. Hope you guys are doing well. We're going to go ahead and remove this real quick because this is just for a shipping option right here. If you guys like what you see, definitely tap the screen. I appreciate it if you do. If you do not like what you see or do not know what the heck you're looking at, feel free to ask questions because that really kind of helps me answer this stuff. Because I don't know what you guys know and I don't know what you guys don't know. So we can have conversations. I'm an RF supply company. This is Coax right here. If you guys don't know, this Coax is a little bit different than what your particular coaxes that you guys see on like your cable box at your house or your I don't know, smaller radio stuff, things like that. This is a little bit more towards the broadcast spectrum. Not specifically. It could be used easily in some of the HF or well, pretty much a bunch of the HF world and further. But just to continue the conversation, okay, let's get a measurement. So I'm not sure how I should do this. Yeah, let's just do it like this. Now, I'm not quite sure why I'm not seeing the chat on YouTube and Facebook, but if you guys got questions on YouTube and Facebook, let me know. 4-element beam, 35 foot up, about to be a 150 foot run. Do I need to worry about total length? Or I like to do velocity factor, so I will tell you that. That choice is yours. Whether or not you choose to do that or not really is up to you. It's not really my decision to make. Alright, so we got meter here, meter there. Okay, cool. So we're going to add from here. Exactly, pretty much 1 foot. 1 foot on the money. Now, here's some math. You guys want to know what meters to feet is? It's 3.2808. That's your conversion. It's not 3.3. So anybody who wants to tell you that, if you want to be precise, do not. That is the number that is going to mess you up. I've got to get a charger real quick. Give me just a second, see if this thing is charged. I'm about 7% sitting over here, and I need a little bit of juice. All right, 3.2808. Let me times 9 about 3.2. So 2.74 times 3.2. So it's 2.42 after, so it's 1.42 after. So 1.42, 0.42 times 12. So 24, 29 inches. 29 inches after from this measurement. And then we got 3.2. After 2 meters. So we've got 1 meter here, We rotate all the way around. This is the 1 meter adjustment right there. Rotate around on inside here. This hits our 2nd meter mark right here. So we're going to measure 29 inches from this edge right here. So we will go 8, 1 foot, 18, 24, 29. So 29 will get me right there. I'm going to do my bulkhead connection right here. So let me see that back. You here. So I want bulkhead to hit right there. So somewhere. Should be fine. Right in here. So let's go ahead and chop this. Sorry, I'm not at a really good camera angle. We're just zooming in on my belly. Let's get you guys over there so you can see what I'm doing. Turn you guys over there so you can see what I'm doing. All right. There we go. So this is not charging. We got a dead battery, and I'm not going to risk. I hooked up on that monitor that earlier, and that thing literally killed my whole daggum camera. It's I'm on like floating on thin ice with my hookups on this little monitor. If you guys knew how small this computer was I was playing on. It's a great little computer, but it's not ideal for that. With that, okay, let's take a look and see what your questions are. Hey, what's up, Dan? Hey, Dan, we got a long time coming, but this is I've got a new connector. Check this out, Dan. So this is the new connector I've been trying to get a hold of, and this is what's called a bulkhead connector. So if you look right here, this will go through a bulkhead. So we've got brackets. So I actually ran out about a week ago. I didn't know of connectors. So it put me kind of in a pickle. So I decided to do an upgrade, a significant upgrade actually. But I'll show you guys real quick what we're working with. 1, 2. I don't know if this is enough. This is for 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if this is. So this right here is set up to, if you guys can see it, I'll show you right here. This is the clamps that will clamp on this coax right here. I'm going to have to pull some of this out. She was a little overzealous with what was put in here, but it ain't the end of the world. I got some more to do. But these are the clamps. That's how they work. I've already got them set up and already cut out for our standoffs right here. Standoffs go through here. This clamps through right here. We've got some bolts that will run through. So it runs through like that. You clamp the coax and you put your U-clamps on the side of the boom like this. So this is the boom running along the antenna. You can do above or below. It doesn't really matter or make a difference. And you run your coax in here and it clamps onto your coax. Sorry, I'm going to try to read your comments. Give me just a moment though. I'm going to try to explain this stuff to Dan because this is something interesting for him. More specific. I don't try to call people out, but this is something for him. All right, so next we have this right here. 200 foot of LMR 400 going to the antenna. I like to make patch cords with meters and amps and RG 400. What links should I avoid or use? Avoid random links, really, to be honest. It depends on the type of equipment you're putting in. Didn't know what you thought. Let me go back to Doughboy. You want to be a little bit more particular with your stuff. Uh-oh, what happened? Okay, there we go. Doughboy said something. Thanks for joining from the post. Thanks for joining over here. Appreciate all you guys. Thanks for following me, Lewis. I appreciate you. Putting up 4 element, 35 foot, about 150 fish. Do I need to worry about total length? Yes, you do want to worry about total length. Keep it in about 15-foot increments and you'll be all right. If you wanted to do a velocity factor, I could cut a velocity factor for you, but that's up to you. With that, the rotor loop, do you calculate that in? Yes, you calculate your rotor loop in. It's part of the length. Happy Camper, hello, waving a hand. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you guys joining. Thank you guys hanging out. What's up, 144? Hello, hello. All right. So I think I've answered everybody's question. So this is a bulkhead connector. So we'll use what's called an L bracket right off of this piece right here. And this bulkhead will go through a connector right here. It's going to go through a little plate that'll be right here, and that'll be a circle. And this right here will lock into place on that. It's got a little tab right here I can cut out and lock that where it doesn't twist or move. So this is a very, very nice bulkhead connector for your 7/16 DIN connectors on your 1/2-inch flex. This is what I'll be using on all my 1/2-inch flex when I do my RF mitigation. So I do see some issues with what we did, Dan, but give me a shout tomorrow, or it really doesn't matter, actually. Don't even worry about it. Give me a shout, because what we got right here is going out. But give me a shout tomorrow about possibly some things that I think we might be missing, unless I'm forgetting something. All right, so let's flip this around. Let's get to work and hook some connectors up. So let's follow this around. We got one connector right here. We follow on this wire all the way around, holding your finger on the wire, run it around, and this is the connection that goes to here, right? So follow it around, walk it on here. So there's always something that you can wonder about whether you got right or not. So this is going to be the female right here. This will be our female bulkhead right here. The other end is going to be our male, and that's how it's going to set up over there. So I'm going to pull this back and then run this through here, and that'll be our male connection right there. So, oh goodness, I got to throw this on my knee. I'm going to show you guys a new method I've come up with. As long as it's clean, you are welcome. I will let the guys in the comments try to guess. I do have to get to work, but you can absolutely put some comments in there. Feel free. Ask whatever you like, say whatever you like, and as long as it's clean, we'll be good. And we will. I'll repeat it and maybe let some other people play around. If it's dirty, please don't. I just appreciate it if you didn't. All right. So I try to be nice to people and let people participate. So let's do a little bit of zoom in. So you guys are on this one. So let's zoom in real quick. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And let's move that down just a smidge so you guys can see what's going on. Wrong way. That's towards me. We're going the other way. Wait. It's not fine. I would say it's fine, but it's not. All right. I've got to get my caliper. My caliper is way up there. Let's grab it. I can say hello on the little bitty, hang on, where's my head? Hello on the little bitty mirror over there. That's my, you guys can't see me on, what is that, TikTok? This little mirror down here. I was messing around on Facebook saying hello to these guys. So, there's a lot to do, very little time to get it done. What's the quickest way to double money? I don't know. What's the riddle is the quickest way to double money? Anybody want to guess in the comments? Y'all feel free to have some fun with it. He says what he wants to ask if I wanted to know a riddle. He said, "What's the quickest way to double some money?" So let's cut this back. I've got to cut 7 mil back for the center, and then 28 mil for the body. So if you guys are right there, mode right there, 28 mil right there. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting into this 1/2-inch flex, put it in front of a mirror. There we go. Whoop, whoop. That's cool with me. All right, so I'll send you a message tomorrow. You can call me when you get time. Yeah, sounds good, Dan. Yeah, I think we're missing a few different little knickknacks. But because it doesn't make sense on some things that I'm figuring out. But I'm we're good to go. It's just literally, it's basically bracketry and assembly. is what I think we're missing. But I don't know if we're truly missing it or if it's something that was discussed. No matter what, we'll figure it out. But I'm going to get this part out the door because this part the other part doesn't really matter. It's not going to stop you from installation. Maybe kind of a little bit, like the cleanliness of the installation. All right, let's got this one back. Nice, dude. I'm loving this new way, man. It's very, very happy with this. Where's my knife at, though? Had it over here. There it is. So if you guys got questions, you want to know anything about RF theory, let's talk about it. So I'm building, like I said, some 1/2-inch flex. All right, what we got? Somebody joined from my post. Thank you. Hello. I hope you guys are doing well. I bumped my camera. It'll be all right, though. What are you guys saying over here? Hey, thanks for the heart, Happy Camper. I do appreciate you, man, for sure. Anybody else said anything over here? You guys don't have anything to say, and we're just joining in, so thank you for hanging out. All right, so let's get to work on this. So we're working on, like I said, some 1/2-inch flex. I've got several of these to build, so I need to get my butt to work. So I'm going to do the female first, because that's the one I want on this connection right here. On the other one, I need the male. I've got some parts, and I get this thing pre-assembled. This is my first time working with this exact connector, but it's near identical to the other connectors I do, so I'm not concerned even in the slightest. Whenever you're dealing with these O-ring seals and these rubber seals, the gaskets and things like this that they're kind of put together for you, biggest thing is just try to lubricate them somewhat. Don't put yourself in a pickle putting the stuff together and then have it getting tore up. All right, so now I gotta pull the back of this body off. I do need to cut the center conductor real quick. Let's go ahead and do that. I like to pull it off. There is a little bit of a nuance to this, so I just try to hit it about halfway in and just try to rip it, and it rips right on off. If you don't do a good job there, then there's a little bit you have to deal with. There's a little plastic sleeve on the inside of this you have to deal with. What camera are you guys on? Little camera or big camera? So little camera, let's zoom in on little camera. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And bump you down just a smidge. There we go. I think something like that's pretty good. That's not too bad of an angle. I think TikTok is not focused in properly, so I'll try to refocus that camera. I'm focused in pretty good where my hand is, but you just can't really see behind me, so it'll be all right. Tommy, what's up? Douglas, what's up? C-Loss, what's up? Delta 2 Win, hello. Hope you guys are doing well. Hello over there on Facebook and YouTube land. I really hope you guys are doing well too. If you guys have questions, like I said, feel free to ask. This stuff is usually used in really telecom stuff somewhat now is the main thing that I see this stuff being used on. It is used a little bit in broadcast, but broadcast they usually use some other stuff. It would work perfectly fine in that application. It's just not typically something they'll do, just simply because they're using fixed towers a lot and they don't really need the flexible connections as much. So they go something like hard line or rigid line even in some cases. Okay. I'm going to go a little further, not for any other reason other than I can. This connection has an option to do a few things This is very, very clean the way I've got it set up right now, but I don't really care about clean. I care about functional. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip on this body a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and get this flange a bit better. There's a couple different generations of this exact connector. This generation is a nice one, but I like the next generation a little bit better. Now, I'm not 100% sure if they make this exact generation in what I'm doing right here, but I don't know, to be quite honest with you. I'm not sure. So all I'm doing is getting into this flange real quick. If you guys are not familiar, if you've ever, it don't have to be exact. It's not like that because this is a helical spiral helix. It's not exactly the same as a corrugated shield, but basically I'm just flanging and flaring this stuff out. I'm doing it a little bit rougher in this design because it doesn't flange as well as something that would be a solid corrugation, because all it does is continue to try to rotate down the body. But all I'm doing is hitting all around this edge and creating a copper border off of this shield, and that copper border is what we're going to connect off of. So from there, I've got to measure center conductor again real quick. Thanks guys for hanging out. I know it's not my normal schedule, but I know I got people from all over. Very, very cool to hear some of you guys. I've had Italy come in and have comments and stuff and say things. I've had Brazil come in, Argentina come in and send messages. So thank you very much from all over the world. Wherever you guys are checking my stuff out. Indonesia was watching my videos the other day. So I am super humbled and grateful for that. It's really hard to think that your videos go into so many different places in the world for people to see stuff. So I just want to say thank you guys for watching. So thank you very much. All right, so now I've got to push the body of this dielectric down. But what I'm going to do is, instead of pushing the body down, I'm actually going to pull the foam polyethylene out. Not completely, just out of part of this connection. Just because I have that ability and I can do it. It's my connection that I'm building, and I want it to be as good as I can build it. So I'm going to get something that's got a little bit more grip. Hey, what's up, Deuce? Hope you're doing well, man. I have not been consistent on my lives. I do apologize for you guys that are faithful and watching, and that come up and hang out and have been liking and enjoying my videos for a lot of years. So thank you very much for still coming back, even though I'm not doing so well in my consistency. I appreciate all you guys. New, old, and everything in between. Everybody hanging out. I'm trying to stay in the shot. It's kind of hard. So let me check this focus real quick. I think that camera's going to stay focused now. You guys on TikTok, keep me posted and let me know if the camera falls out of focus. So what I'm doing, like I said, is just pulling this last bit of this dielectric out of here. The dielectric is a foam polyethylene. That foam polyethylene is not going to really cause me a ton of heartache, but because I want a really good seat on this flange, I'm going to make sure to pull as much of it out as possible. So I'm going to try to find whatever tool is going to help me get that job done. These dikes seem to be doing okay. We'll see. All right. I'm looking around for metal shavings inside here. Not that there's going to be any, but I need to make sure. Because when I'm building this flange, if there's anything else that gets in here in this dielectric, it can cause me problems. All right, we are good. Nice and safe, good to lock down. No complaints. So now, just because I can, I'm going to put some lubricant on the threads real quick, so I don't have to deal with it. All right, let me look and make sure. I'm positive this is what I do. Actually, I don't have to look. Yeah, it's fine. So, it's good. Now, line this up right here. All right, what questions have we got, guys? You guys want to know anything? New Brunswick, Canada here. Thanks for keeping the hobby going. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Kevin. If you guys have any comments or anything else to say, feel free to put your input in there, because I really appreciate what you guys have to say, and I am very interested in your guys' commentary. Oh my goodness. This is what happens when you're dumb, though, and it's late. I've almost got a little ahead of myself, so I can actually check the seating anyway. So this is pretty important to make sure the seat's well, but also is very important, not extremely. Let's take a look. Seat on that body, did it grab and do what it was supposed to do? I'm not 100% sure. Let's go ahead and knock this edge. Make sure that seat's well. All right, I'll look at that in just a second. Just give me just a second. Knock this edge off. So I'm looking for markings along the edge of this connection. If I don't see them, then I can assume that we may be having some issues. So I'm not 100% sure I see them, but I'm going to put this connection on real quick after I throw this on there, which is the reason I put that on there. Let me move this camera. Which one are you guys? This one? That? Yeah, come back over here. Nope, too far. Back that way. I'm trying to handle my... I move back and forth over and over again, so I'm trying to make sure you guys can see everything that's happening. I don't care if you guys see what I'm doing. All right, so... Take a look and see if it seats. I want to measure that. I'm not seeing that. Not 100% sure. So let's do this real quick. I don't know if I'm going to regret this or not, but I'm going to try it anyway. I don't care. I do care, actually, a lot. That's why I'm doing this. So let me line this up real quick. If you guys got any RF related questions, feel free to ask. It will not hurt my feelings to answer them and talk to you guys about it. So I'm going to measure real quick. Let's do a caliper measurement, because this is what's going to determine fitment and how this thing seats. Because it's pretty important. I had my first connector that had an issue in several years. Well, there's been other like knick-knack things, but like first major issue in several years just the other day from not doing my due diligence. I got 6 mil from center right there, right? So 6 mil from center. That'd be 16 mil down from body. 16 mil down from the body. Let me look at my paperwork real quick. I'm pretty positive it only calls for this real quick. So this is one of these bulkheads right here. That's not the one, actually. Where's one of these bulkheads? This is one of these bulkheads right here. Let's see if it calls for something different than what I just built. So this is one of the bulkhead connectors right here. This is their data sheet for the bulkhead, but it doesn't say anything about... Oh, that's pretty cool. What does that mean? You can actually panel mount. Oh, this is panel mount. This is versus bulkhead. That's pretty cool. Good to know. But I'm not doing panel mount, so that's not what I'm worried about right now. I need paperwork. That's V2. I don't need V2. I need some old school paper right here. There we go. Cool. This is our C connectors right here. 28 mil, 7 mil, 21 mil, 7 mil, 7 mil, connector body in. So that should be fine. Let me grab one more. Let's just be safe. Let's pull a brand new one out. Let's grab our paperwork. All right, sorry, I got a morning. What's up? Hello, hello. Hello, EA2. All right, you guys got questions? Y'all guys feel free to ask. Okay, so same measurement. So it's 21 mil, 7 mil. We need to see what it looks like seated. When it seats on this connection, it calls for center, body, connector. We need to see 7 mil in the spacing. That's fine. I already got that O-ring on. That's good. That will push that connection back, so that'll be perfectly fine. No problems with that. That's cool. So this is what we need. So now we need... Well, we got what we need there. So now... So let's measure and see. This is going to go 3.2 mil inside there. So this is going to go 9. This should go closer to like, yeah, that'll be fine. So that'll seat inside that connection with no problems. So then we've got a seat in here. We got 25 mil total depth. Oh. It's interesting to know. Okay, cool, good. So I just figured something out. This has got a Teflon dielectric. I love Teflon and it's great, but Teflon has a very low friction coefficient, so we're having to deal with some kind of annoyance. Not the end of the world, but definitely some more difficulty with this connection. It won't be too bad though, luckily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to seat this pin right here. So I figured out what was happening right here. It's not like it's a gigantic issue, but just enough to be a problem. So the center conductor is very important to be in its exact position with this design, and if it's not, then it will definitely cause a lot of heartache. So what I'm doing is I'm seating this connection, I'm looking at this connection, I'm going to be watching how it's connected. So this can get tightened up real quick. I'm going to grab this. There's a lot of nuance to this stuff, and as much as I like to say that it's cut and dry every single time, works perfect, no problems whatsoever, there's always something you got to deal with. It ain't like it's the end of the world, but it's not one of those things that you're like, oh yeah, there's always something that can come up. So don't feel like things are falling apart on you whenever you just have something show up. So Teflon dielectric is a very, very good dielectric, so I'm not going to complain. I'm actually going to be super grateful that I have this, but it does mean I'm going to have to work a little bit harder in this connection. This is nice and sealed and seated. So now, my cross-sectional cut you guys can see inside here, we're actually seated and pushed down on the center conductor, and that locks me into place right here. And when that locks me into place right here, I can feel, whenever I seat this, see if I can feel it. You want to feel a positive, what do you say, positive traction. You want to feel it seat. If I can, I think I can. I'm not sure if I got enough threads to do so. No, I don't have enough threads to do so. I just got to tighten it up. So I want to check and see. I'm going to look at my threads real quick. Nice. That's what I wanted. Okay. So what has happened is this Teflon dielectric, what happens is that center conductor, they don't have a good press fitting on the seal right here. And whenever it goes into that connection, it was just pushing the center conductor up. So I just had to put a connector on the backside to lock it into place. It'll be probably one of the stronger connectors that I've ever put together just because of that Teflon dielectric. I don't know why some have Teflon dielectric, some have some like polyethylene or some sort of other dielectric material, but Teflon is extremely nice, so it's always nice to have it. It is kind of a bear to work with, so be prepared for more issues when it comes to using Teflon. That's probably why they don't use them in telecom and broadcast as much, because they're quite a bit more effort to be able to make everything work. The dielectric strength is really good on them, so super happy with that. Hey, what's up, Jerry? Hope you're doing well, man. If you guys have questions while you guys are watching, do not feel like you cannot ask. Get this off of here. So there we go. That was a little hard. The booger got in a good spot. So now, just for a proper test, screw this off, take a look and see how it's seating. Extremely well. Very happy with that. I'm liking this new bulkhead. It's just going to be a little bit more work for me. But, hey, that's not the worst thing I've ever had to deal with. So center conductor is right in the right spot. I can push down on this cross-sectional space, lock it in, and it's a very positive seat. So very... Oh, sorry. Okay. That's cool. Polar Bear, I don't really talk about too much about my anything else to do with other businesses and stuff, but yes, I do. I don't really say that too much. It's just not one of those things that I get into too much, because then people get confused about what my businesses are, and they start trying to mix my businesses. I have multiple businesses, so if anybody doesn't know, I own more than one business. My RF Supply is another business. So a lot of guys will get confused and they'll try to connect my businesses together. They're different businesses for sure. So my RF Supply is a standalone business that I supply RF components all over the world to all sorts of different people. So the digital meters come from there. You'll have to contact me. There's no other business that you can contact to get the digital meters from other than the manufacturer and then whoever else decides to get into distribution rights. The Coax, stuff like that, you'll again have to contact this page and contact me directly. There's nobody else you can contact that is related to me or has any other businesses that's similar to me that you can get that equipment from. So, kind of confusing, but that's why I don't really mention it too much, because everybody will get it twisted really quick, and it just kind of. I don't want to get anybody confused on my page. I don't want to have it set up where people don't understand clearly what they're getting from me and who they're getting it from and how they're getting it. Okay. But to answer your question, yes. All right, so I'm going to pull this. I think I'm going to pull this up since I don't have a good option to be able to do this. You guys need to be able to see this. And I can't get this high enough in the air. Oh no, that was kind of risky. That could have burnt the living doo-doo out of me. But yeah, polar bear. The answer is yes, and also the answer is not zero affiliation to this particular business at all. Relation is there though, yes. But again, I just try to keep people from getting confused. It's not like I'm trying to hide it or nothing. I don't really care. It's just people get. I've had several people get confused, and they'll be calling me up on one of my businesses, asking for my other businesses stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you can't really do that. It's a separate business. All right. Hey, Steve, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate you. How much to put ends on your Heliox Coax? 5/8. I cannot currently put ends on other people's connectors. I am way too far behind, unfortunately. I wish I could. I wish I was in that kind of place where I could kind of take stuff in and put connectors on it for people, but I'm just not there, unfortunately. Physical cost-wise, if you actually had bought some cable from me and you were getting me to put ends on, for a 1/4-inch size cable, it's what is it? 15? Is it $10? No. Yeah, for 1/4-inch size cable, it's $10 an end. For 3/8 size cable, it's $15 an end. For 1/2-inch size cable, it is $20 an end. 5/8 cable would be the same kind of category. I don't think I'd charge anything more, maybe $25 if it's a little bit more difficult. And then for 7/8 cable, it's $30 an end, and for 1 5/8 cable, it is $40 an end. There may be a change in the pricing in the future once I time myself a little bit better, because I think I've made that mistake on a few occasions where I didn't properly check my time and went way over. So let's throw this one on here, right here. Could you do it? Yes, I've made several videos to show you guys how it works. So if you guys got questions, y'all can feel free to ask about it for sure. So let's go ahead and measure and cut. Next piece. This one's going to be a little bit easier because I've done a bunch of these. But I think I might do something a little bit different. I'm going to check. All right, so now, can you guys see? Maybe should I zoom out? I think you guys are doing pretty good. 5/8 cable is very hard to find connectors, but you can definitely check with me. I do have a ridiculous amount of connectors for a bunch of different cables. That's not me trying to be prideful or anything like that. I literally just picked up another 100 or 97 something connectors just to kind of restock some of my little knick-knack stuff. So yeah, I have a lot. I may not have more than somebody else, but I got enough. Enough to sell. My connectors are usually around, it depends on what they are. If they're more common connectors, they're usually about 20 bucks a pop. Like these 7/16 DINs for your 1/2 inch is $20 a piece. If you're getting some 7/16 DIN for your 7/8, it's $30 a piece. So I have stuff like that. What's up, Sparky? Yeah, just send me the type of cable you got on your stuff. If you give me some photos or the numbers on the side of your cable, then I can kind of let you know. Like I said, I do a bunch of videos out there to show you guys how to do this. You guys can watch what I'm doing right here and use that as a guide to see how I do this. So 999, waving a hand, man. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you checking out my video. Thank you very much for being consistent, even when I'm not consistent. I had a thank you out there earlier to everybody who watches my videos, because I have not been super great about coming out here and doing my lives, and you guys are still great about coming out here and checking them out. So thank you. And then I'm not consistent on my, well, I'm decently consistent, but not the way I want to be. I'm not consistent on my times either. My goal originally was 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and then call it an evening and go in at 10. But you guys have kind of forced me to work more, which is not the end of the world, because I'm making money. So it's not, I'm not complaining about it. But the workload has significantly went up. Let's just say that. So I got lots of stuff to do, and I'm happy to do it. But it's just the time schedule had to be changed in order to fit that. So I had to kind of move around dinner, move around Bible study with the kids, and then time with the wife, stuff like that. All that stuff had to be moved around, and now you guys are not super bad. Oh yeah, no, I am, this is common occurrence here, Sparky, just being honest. I'll be out here for probably another, 30 or 40 minutes. I'm going to try to finish 1, 2, 3, 4 connectors. And then I can call it quits for the night. And then I'll do more. I showed you guys, I think it was 800 or 900 foot of wire. About 900 foot of wire. Not quite 1,000 foot, like I said on the post. Well, actually it is 1,000 foot. So it was 616 or something like that, plus 240. And then plus another 120 on top of that, I think, was the number. So I'm pretty sure that was actually proper with what I just said. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, I'm not sure. But somewhere close to 1,000 foot of coax is what I had on the bench earlier today, just to show you guys whenever I first came in here. Yeah, well, shoot, man. Hopefully everything's going okay with your dad. If you, we'll definitely keep him in our prayers. Hopefully all goes well. All right, so measure down. We want to go 7 mil down. A little bit further. You don't want to Hercules this stuff, because if you do, you're going to end up with a problem, and this connection is not going to work very well for you. So I've still got a little bit of lubricant on my hands, so I'm just cleaning up this O-ring right here, putting a little bit of contact area on this. There we go. See how that positive seat. This version 2 connector has a little bit different seating procedure. So I really like how you can feel it seat and fall into the connection. So I don't have to worry about it too much. I can also grab a female and just make sure it seats up on it good. At some point in time, I'm probably going to cut another female along the body of the connection, like I did with this cross cut on this male connection, just to make sure my females make contact, or all my males make contact, excuse me, because I do this on my split feeds too, just to make sure all that stuff makes good contact and stays in the right spot. All right, so now I normally will use a set of wrenches, but I don't have those. They're sitting down there and I'm not digging them out, so it is what it is. We're using some thumb wrenches right here. Yeah, no problem. Just you have to kind of let me know what ends they are first, Sparky, and I'll let you know if I got them. But yeah, I'm happy to try to set you up with whatever, man. No problem. If you guys got questions, anybody else wants to say anything, y'all guys feel free to hang out. Thank you guys on TikTok for hanging out. If you guys don't mind, please tap the screen. It would help a lot, and it sends my video to more people. Because apparently TikTok wants more people to like the video than what Facebook and YouTube does. You guys can just sit there and hang out on Facebook and YouTube, click one like one time, and I'm good. But on TikTok, for whatever reason, it wants you guys to tap the screen a bunch. So if you guys don't mind, tap the screen. That would be appreciated. Joel, thank you very much for following. What is that? Lena Lake, thank you very much for following. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's a bunch of you guys already tapping. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So I hate to ask that, but for whatever reason, TikTok definitely has a lot of sway depending on how many people are actually interacting with the video. YouTube and Facebook, I think it's based off of comments and stuff. But TikTok, it definitely, the likes have a lot of sway on that. So thank you very much for liking the video, guys. All right, so we've got our male connection right here. We made our female connection over here. Oh, goodness. Let's grab that right there. So we'll run this all the way down here. We'll run this one all the way up here. And I'm going to just connect them together because this is not going to hurt anything. And I'll let you guys see how it connects. Give me just a second. This is kind of a weird angle for me. A really weird angle for me, actually. Give me just a second. Let me line. Just to make sure we don't have no trouble, we're going to put a little bit of dielectric grease on these threads so we don't have no trouble on that later. I got to make sure I seat this properly and then line that up. Yeah, that's how you do it right there. So I'm trying to make it where you guys can see. I'm in a really weird angle for my stuff. Corey, hello. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Hi, Jerry. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, if you gave all the likes, I do appreciate it there, Sparky. Thank you very much. I do think there might have been a couple other guys tapping too, but if you did it all, thank you very much. I don't want to discount these other guys, but hey, if Sparky just did all those likes, you guys are slacking. All right, so this is locked into place. It's nice and connected. This bulkhead will go on here and it'll connect right there. So we will connect something in line with that bulkhead right on that connection right there. So I'm building a 1/2 inch flex connection right here. This is a split feed right here. This goes to the termination right here. Let me try to see if I can show you guys. This will go to like a bolted connection right here. This will go to the transmitter or the transceiver, depending on whatever the customer plans on using right here. This is RF mitigation right. Gotta find RF mitigation right over here. And that's how this is set up. This is one harness complete. I'm gonna go ahead and build another one exactly like it. I gotta put 2 connectors on so you guys can see how much work how much work this is for the RF mitigation. It's not too bad. It's a little bit of work, but nothing crazy. Let's zoom out real quick so you guys can see. Zoom. That should be good. I had some alive, and I had about 100,000 people or 100,000 likes hit on there, and it was like 6 people doing a really, really good job of just tapping the screen. It was hilarious. But yeah, they went to town on it. I had somebody I knew. They were tapping. They said, "I think I tapped so many times my fingers were hurting." I was like, that was hilarious. It was a long, long live that I was doing. All right, so I don't really need likes like that, but because of TikTok's algorithm, I prefer it just because I want to try to show you guys how to do this stuff. I'm showing you guys how to do it for free. It doesn't cost a dime. I'm not charging anybody nothing for this except for the person who paid for the harness, and I'm letting you guys see how to do it together for yourself. So I want to get to as many people as possible. I want to kind of make sure that everybody that sees this stuff, they get kind of inspired to go ahead and start building something of their own. I don't want to feel like I don't want to let the hobby die. There's hobbies in all this stuff. There's amateur hobbies. There's professionals in the RF community, and RF can die if nobody fosters it. So I'm trying to do something along those lines to try to share this content with you guys. I've spent the past 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half, doing work and not being live. And yeah, I can get stuff done, and I'm very happy to get it done. I've gotten, I think in a 4-day period, I finished like 23 orders, so that was really awesome. But at the same time, the whole point of me doing these videos on the RF Supply is for you guys. So you guys missed out on those 23 orders in that period, and then at least another 6 or 7 orders in the period before. So I'm sorry for that. I wish I could be live on everything, but I just only got so much in me, guys. Not in disrespect to anybody else, but it's just I've only got so much. All right, so we got 25 inches there. So we got 2 foot and 1 inch to this first meter measurement, and then we got to go exactly 9 foot from here. Thank you for the follow. Hi, Latvia. Thank you very much. I've got a new one. So we got a Latvia here. I had Indonesia yesterday. We had, it was Argentina was messaging me last night. So very, very cool. Thank you. I hope you're doing well in Latvia. So now, let's go ahead. This is 25 inches. So this starts my first measurement. So in order to figure out my math, this is what we do. 9 divided by 3.2808 is 2.74 meters. We want to figure out what 0.74 is. 0.74 meters times 3.2808. That's 2.42 feet. So that's 2 foot and 1 inch right here. 2.42. So 0.42 times 12, that's 504, plus 24, that's 29.04, minus 25 inches is 4.04 inches. So it's 4 inches past whatever meter measurement I measure in next. So we do 9 divided by 3.2808, that's 2.74. We've got 2 meters left and 4 inches. So we're going to measure it from here. 1 meter is the first adjustment right here. This is 1. 2 meters and 4 inches. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is dead on the point that I want to be. This connection is going to be built about right here. So right there. That's how long I want it to be, where I want it to connect. Now, just to confirm, wrap this around, go this way. This is my female. So I'm going to hold my female in my hand, and this is the connection I want to do first. My male is going to be over here, and that'll be the connection I do next. So now, we'll run down here. Elvire, thank you very much for sharing the live. Jerry, thanks for following. Ali, was it Ali? Thank you very much for following. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. All right. So let's do my female. Let's zoom in. I think you guys are liking the zoom of this camera right here. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Now, what do you guys think? I think we're pretty close. Let's zoom out just a smidge. I think I'm going to try to match this up. Thanks for the follow. Thank you very much. Arigato, I think, is that looks like Japanese to me. So, arigato, what is it? Arigato gozaimasu. Thank you very much. Alright, so now let's get to work. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate you forever. Appreciate you. You're doing that wrong. The formula is actually 30 divided by 2 minus 30 divided by 2 minus what? Hang on. Let's play with this. Yeah. 30 divided by. All right, it's too late for me to get to be reaching into that. Negative 45. Yeah. Okay, back to what I'm doing. So we want to go 7 mil. Yeah, that's a bit of math to it, and you got to go from your conversion from meters to feet. Technically, if I lived in Europe, I would probably just wouldn't go off the metric system altogether, just because it would be a lot easier for me. But technically, it is a little easier to go to the SAE system for some of these measurements, just because it's a little bit smaller run. Maybe I could use centimeters, but there's no good way. Of course, 100 centimeters is a meter, so I could do it that way, but I don't know. I'm American. I got to make it complicated. So, but that is your conversion. If you ever wanted to know, it's 3.2808 is what the exact number is going to be for converting from meters to feet. Speed of light, if you ever wanted to play with that one, that's 299,792,792 299,792,458 meters per second. Sorry, I started second guessing myself for a moment there. But 299,792,458. And then if you was to convert that over from meters to feet, it's 3.2808. So if you wanted to figure out the exact physical measurement for speed of light in feet per second, you do 299,792,458 times 3.2808. That's 983,559,096 feet, and that's 0.2064 feet. So that is the exact physical measurement for the speed of light in feet. A lot of people say 984 million, but it's actually 983. Yeah, I copy that, Bill. Hope you're doing well, Lost Jeep, man. It's been a hot minute since I talked to you, man. It's a pleasure for sure. I hope you hop on roll call sometime, man. It's been good. I actually did it yesterday, not yesterday, but this past weekend, because we had some slackers in the mix, and I was pulling up the slack. I didn't do this perfect, but it's okay. Luckily, I've got a little bit of know-how, and I know that this is not going to stop me from making this connection, so it'll be alright. Not perfect, but I'll just end up ripping right there rather than it being absolutely super clean cut. But that's okay. It's not really going to stop me from working. Might make it a little harder, though. We'll see in a minute. Go to bed. Hey, you going to work there, Mr. Rambo there? Or Mr. Casey? Listened to the gate last week. I'm surprised to hear Georgia Flash. Yeah, for sure, man. I think that might have been up on 35. So I don't think that was. I don't think that was on the main event. I need this right here, but I will be shortly there, Mr. And Casey? Mr. Kale? Whatever. Sorry. I said about 100 different names for you. Whoever you are. Right. Alright. What's up, Craig? What's up, Jerry? Hope everybody's doing well. Hey, good night, Sparky. Hope you're doing well, man. Appreciate you. Hope everything goes well tomorrow at the appointment, man. I will be praying for good news for you, Daddy. Hey, I didn't get to ask Latvia some stuff. Where'd Latvia go? Latvia, are you still in here? I did not look and see who that was. How much for Helix for 5X to be nailed out? How long? Length definitely does matter somewhat. FPV, are you still around? If you're not, then I will see you later, and hopefully you come back next time. I wanted to ask about the weather in Latvia today. See if it's cold like it is about to be over here. I know we got a big polar vortex coming in. I think it's called a polar vortex. But I don't know about them. Where's everybody out of? If you would like to say your country or your state, feel free to hop in there and pop it in the comments. That would be pretty cool to figure out where everybody's from. I've had Indonesia that was in here yesterday. I had Latvia in here today. Had Argentina was messaging me the other day. Italy messaged me the other day. And that actually was like 2 days ago. But yeah, it's very cool to see where you guys are from. Oh, let me cut this center connector real quick. I gotta go ahead and cut this back. If you guys would like me to zoom in a little bit closer, let me know. Hook it up. Put that Superflex up and put it to work. I got some more tower for you if you want some tower. I got a 100-foot crank up over here. Or some small Ron 25. You can throw that booger on a telephone pole and put her up. I think you still got some though. I'm pretty sure you still got one up in the air, don't you? Or did you pull it down? Alright, so we've got a deburr up here. So this is a pretty important step that I kind of glossed over a bit. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit for you guys so you can see what's going on. That's the wrong one. I don't know if that's going to mess up my camera focus or not. What does that do? I don't even know what this does. All right, whatever. You guys can see. And let's zoom in on this one. Thank you for tapping the screen. I appreciate that. It definitely helps a lot. So zoom in, zoom, zoom, zoom. That should be pretty good. Maybe I won't move around too much. I got a limited range of motion when I zoom in like this. All right, so now let's deburr this the rest of the way. So I've got one more of these to do, and then I can call it an evening. After one more harness, that is, not one more connector. Shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, GP in the air, my 4 element needs to go all the way. Yeah, man, just put that 4 element up. I wish I had more time, I'd come help. Alright, so nope. So if you look, it's right here. That's what you call a cross thread. So yeah, not too bad. That's not too bad to fix. This is solid copper, so it's pretty easy to straighten out. All I'm going to do is get this right here. I didn't see on the back side of this connection how it wasn't lined up. That'll be fine right in there. Let me get my dikes real quick and cut this out. Can you guys see what's going on? Yeah, you guys can see everything. Sometimes I give you guys a really good shot, and other times I don't. So I'm doing what I can for you guys. I think right now you guys got a pretty good view of what I'm doing right here. So I'm working with this this dielectric. Got it lined up. We're ready to start. Want the thread on nice and straight, hopefully. Haha, you little booger. No. So, if you look right here, this top edge right here is too high. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it back. It ain't going to hurt nothing, because I had to build the flange earlier. And we'll start our threads just a little bit further down. I think you guys can still see what I'm doing. So now, build up this flange right here. Cut the last bit of this over here out of my way. There we go. Should be what I needed. Surefire way to make sure you're straight is to go ahead and go in reverse. There we go. That's what we needed. So now let's measure right here. 7 mil, or just a smidge over, not too bad. Between 7 and 9 is what center conductor needs to be, and we're 7.2. We're about 8 mil. So can you guys see? Yeah, not really, but I'm not trying to hide it. I got to get my arm over there, so you guys will just have to wait just a smidge of a second. All right, so we're clearing the threads. We're pushing the shield back right here. And we're getting her all bonded. So then what we got to do is just clean up our edges right here. We don't want any of these edges to go over top of this flange. Not too far, that is. It's okay for them to hit the edge of the flange. We just don't want them to go over the flange. And we'll start having some issues. I saw a little bit of copper in there, so what I did was I went ahead and went into that dielectric right there, and I cleared it out. So you're looking for any sort of metal looking shavings, anything that looks like any sort of copper, or anything that could break down your dielectric strength. Next, we got to do something a little different, because remember I said these things were Teflon, so that Teflon center conductor has got what's called a very low friction coefficient. Because of that low friction coefficient, I have to make sure that it doesn't go, it doesn't push up through that center conductor, because they don't do a very good crimp on the body. A little bit more copper, a little bit more copper. I'm just cleaning it up before I do this flange. So now let's measure, make sure this is not too long. We are approximately 7.88 mil, and if you look right here off of paperwork, it called well, I lied, I'm sorry. It calls for exactly 7 mil. So we can cut off 0.8 mil off of this design. It's not going to hurt anything. Some of them the later revisions call for between 7 and 9 mil, but we will cut off just under a millimeter. and get it dead on 7 mil. 7 mil, pretty well on the money right there. So at 7.04 mil, so 0.04 millimeters off. That is well within acceptable tolerance. I'm not going to get, this is not machine grade. We are building this stuff for good connections, not for crazy tolerances. So, thank you for sharing the live. Appreciate you, Gregory. Aloha, waving a hand, Savage. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much, guys. Okay, so wouldn't mind getting a radio from you guys. Thank you. Yeah, message me anytime, Jason. But I don't specifically sell radios, but I can give you a suggestion on where to get some for sure. My RF supply sells tower sections. I sell tubes. I sell high voltage components. I sell connectors. I wholesale a lot of that stuff too. If you get anything, does the connector actually thread onto that corrugated shield? Yes. Or do you just force it on like RJ or whatever? Yes, it's a spiral helix, so it does have a spiral pattern on there. The other connectors that I do on other ones is a corrugation, so it actually will go over the body, and then it has a ring clamp that actually clamps in line. Sometimes it's a spring clamp, sometimes it's a grooved piece of brass with a little clamp around it. But corrugation will connect together differently than what this specific connector will. I almost screwed up and didn't put no heat shrink on this, so bear with me for a second. Let me throw some heat shrink on. Key, if you're ever worried about a connection, is go on in reverse. That lines your threads up. Sorry, I'm not in the right spot. That lines your threads up, and you don't have to worry about a whole lot of stuff. So I want to back this off and see if it's biting on these threads properly. Yeah, I'm not liking how that's doing. See how it's catching right there? So we want to go ahead and knock and deburr all that connection off of there. We want it to be 100% undisturbed. We're tapering it some more is what I'm doing right here. So if you've ever seen kind of that rounded edge on the end of a connection, that's what I'm doing so that it will make it through this connection. So I want to see how it threads again. Let's try that again. It seemed to go pretty well. Let's take a look real quick. See what it looks like. I can't tell 100%, so let's clean up this real quick because I see a little bit of plastic that's going to cause me some problems. Sorry, I'm just clear it. Can you guys see? No. All right. I'll pull it back off after I get it a little further on, and we'll take a look at it because I'm not seeing it just yet. So we'll line it up, lay it out, and see how it goes. Let's get this. I think I already coated this O-ring, but let's coat it again. It doesn't hurt to make sure your O-rings don't get damaged. So always, if you got a choice versus lubing it up versus not, lube it up. Gregory, thanks for sharing the live. I do appreciate you very much. You guys didn't work on this. Jason, you'll have to message me. Like I said, I don't do anything radio related through my RF supply. But yeah, if you got any questions and you want a recommendation, then I will talk to you about it. Just send me a message. A lot of guys get... Alright, so... This is not looking like it's seating very well. I'm not liking this. Not yet. I want to feel it seat. I want a solid, positive feeling right here. I want to feel that seat. It's close, maybe, but I don't know. now let's back that off and see how that looks. I want to see this thread on the base of this, and I want to see that connection push over that center conductor. I think it's done it, but I'm not 100% sure. So what I'm looking for is wear lines right along this edge. Let's take a center conductor real quick. Let's check this. Luckily, I've got enough scraps I can play with. I can do something real quick, and we'll make sure this works. So let's get my cutters right here. All right, cuts all the way there. So now we will grab this, unthread that off of there. So I'm going to cheat a little bit just to make sure I don't have no trouble with this scrap piece of metal. Because if you don't watch what you're doing with this stuff, you can absolutely make a poor connection. Uh-oh, don't want to do that. So this has got a spiral helix, and because of that, I got to be careful with unthreading, because it'll unthread out of the backside too. Almost there. Let's pull it off the rest of the way. You guys are seeing all this, right? Yeah. I keep second guessing how good of an angle you guys got, and I think you guys are in a pretty dang good spot. It don't happen very often. I get to whining and moving and jumping all around, and you guys sometimes will suffer. You won't be in a good place to be able to see what's going on. And I think you guys are in a pretty solid good spot right now. See ya. Appreciate you, Lost Sheep Man. Is it common for larger tube amplifiers to be connected without PL259 ends on the output antenna end? Yes. So you will see lots of other connections, especially whenever you're coming into broadcast transmitters, larger homebrew setups and things like that. You'll find 7/16 DIN connectors on there, because the power handling will easily run out whenever you're talking about the capability on like dummy load or on the test setup for like the homebrew stuff. Especially, of course, whenever you're talking about professional broadcast transmitters, they will exceed what the power handling of a regular UHF connector is. And then also, a DIN connector is going to have less insertion loss and some other stuff too, that a lot of guys will end up liking also. So, I did a deburr, I did a test. Alright, that went in. That is a very positive seat. I'm liking it. It did very good. So make sure this is centered. It doesn't look perfectly centered, so let's line it up and see if that's what it is. That looks pretty good. Let's look over here. Pretty good. So we want to see and feel a good positive seat. I believe it did well, so we'll see in just a second. Yeah, it did. I can see the lines. Thank you. All right, cool. So sometimes it's better to spend a little bit of extra time just to make sure everything's connected properly. The last thing you want to do is deal with a connection that's not working because of an improper termination. Build, layout, how you set it up is all super important whenever you're doing this stuff. If you don't do it right, you will pay the price. So I'm going to go a little step further just because, again, this made me question myself, and this made me question my connection. So I'm going to take this apart one last time and look. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's better to be safe than it is to be sorry. So let's look and see how it's seated. I want to look and take a look. Seated very well. Very, very good contact. Very happy with that. Wonderful news. Excellent crimp. Yes. No metal material or anything like that. I am super happy with how good that looks on the inside. So very, very nice. So how well it seats on that flange, all that stuff is extremely important. And I was able to take that apart and look at it, and that's cool. All right, so yeah, any more questions, y'all feel free to ask. It doesn't hurt my feelings to answer it. We'll keep working and throwing some connectors on these things. I think I'm zoomed in pretty good. What do you guys think about this camera angle? Is it pretty good? I'm not going to move the camera too much, but you guys can see what I'm doing. Hope you guys are staying safe in all this weather. Hopefully everybody's getting maybe somewhat prepared. Not like overly prepared, but just a little bit prepared for the weather. I don't know where all you guys are out of, but I know around my neck of the woods it's supposed to get a little rough in the next couple days. I will probably still be working, but hey, to the guys that can't get out and work and you got stuff going on, I understand. It is definitely probably a lot worse weather in some places out there than what I've got over here, so super grateful for living in the very mild winter areas that we do. That's such a nice positive seat. I love that. So very, very good. Next, we're going to go ahead and work over here. I'm going to run this down right here. Actually, let's pull this up. Sorry, give me just a second. I'm getting there. I got to run this zip tie around. You guys can't really see, but there we go. That's nice. Happy with that. Now run this zip tie down. That way I can pull this connection up. Zip tie down just a little bit more. This connection up. Pull this. Get out of my way. Nice. So I'm going to keep this for a tester piece. I won't need it for this connection next. Let's throw my heat shrink on before I forget. See bird watt meter slugs. Yes, you see bird watt meter slugs. You see a, what is this? A digital bird movement right here, or a digital movement to replace a bird movement right there. So those are pretty cool. They do peak, they do average, and all kinds of stuff. You see one bird meter right here. You see two, what is it? 2 bird meters right here. You see, oh goodness, 3 bird meters right here. I mean, I got all kinds of stuff. What's going on there? I don't like that. That's in my way. Yeah, I got all kinds of stuff. Birds everywhere. What is that? this camera right here. Let's zoom out real quick. Let's zoom out on both cameras, and I'll give you guys a little overview of my shop. Because maybe you guys might like it. I don't know. So we will go around that way. We'll see some test equipment right here. See some more bird stuff over there. See some more test equipment over there. I've got my Site Master up there. I've got my signal generator right there, transmitter tester right there, network analyzer right there, and another network analyzer right there. You guys can see the bird equipment over there on Facebook and YouTube land, and you'll see a lot of the test equipment right there. That is not all of it. There's more test equipment over there and down over on the other side of those radios. I got the Apache Labs Anon over there and a few other things that way. But yeah, so some more test equipment this way. Oh, excuse me. This way. That's a VNA up there. That's a precision power amplifier. That's an Apache Labs Anon. That's another communications test set. That's another transmitter tester up there. Got some HF rigs up that way. Excuse me, you guys can see your camera right there. That's a 950 SDX, another little 440 rig, and some other stuff. It's AL 1200 over there, and some other stuff. All right, let's get in the right angle. I think I can zoom on both these cameras back now and let you guys see what we're doing now. I think I'll bump you over just a smidge, something like that, so I can work. And then I'll zoom in right here on you guys so you guys can see what I'm doing. And bump that camera something like that. Maybe. Maybe it's a good spot. Is that right? Nope. Let's go up and over. No, I'm turning this thing around. You guys won't be able to see, not like that. I have to get this thing optimized for one specific camera angle. And I gotta move myself all over Timbuktu to get it right, but hey, that's all right. That ain't too bad. Copy the nice bird watching. Yeah, I got a few. Just a little flock. Oh yeah, I guess I got a bird in a housing, aftermarket housing right there that will do, or a bird movement that reads bird at least. That's average. That's PEP and a few other things. That's got a 2x and a 4x function. That's the new digital meter that I'm using on a lot of the bird stuff. It'll read your 100 UA or your 30 microampere, both. So pretty happy with those things. I've been sending them all over the country. I got some international shipments coming up. I would love to get some pictures from some of these shipments that's going out, but hey, we'll take the win and go for it right there. That's all right. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Do these small micro analyzers do any good work? It won't do nothing like a VNA will, but you can get like something like the Rig Expert. They'll still do 1.5 gigahertz right here. I've got a Stick Pro over there that'll do 600 megahertz. I got an old MFJ that'll do 200 and something megahertz. You could mess around and use one of these little nano VNAs, but they're not the same as a real VNA. But I got a lot of stuff. I got another 1, 2, 3, 4 spectrum analyzers in here, and then I've got 1, 2, 3 VNAs in here. If you count the nanos, I've got, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 VNAs, but the little ones don't count. Let's measure. I've got to get back focused. Sorry. You guys, I like you guys, and you guys are awesome. But sometimes I will get to rambling, so let's get to work. So measure this right here, 28 mil. There we go. Let's get my cutters. So I use traditional hand tools whenever I'm doing this work. Stuff you can find at Home Depot and Lowe's and Menards and whatever else other hardware store you have near you in your area. I specifically do that for a reason, and that's because I want to have you guys not be afraid of doing build work and stuff because you don't have a $300 connector. Because you don't have, I don't know about this one specifically, but these are between $240 and like $380 just to get this tool. So I'm going to sell you a $20 connector, and then I'm going to tell you need to spend another $300 just to put it on. $45. Give me a second. It's late and my brain's not working right. I've got a very unique meter I can show you guys. I actually have a cross needle version. So it's a single line section. It's got a dual line section in the back. It's a meter that's got a cross line section. It's a very rare bird meter that I have. It's in my container right now because I brought it to a swap meet, and I am lazy and I haven't unloaded my my enclosed trailer yet. So I would show you, but I can't show you because it's put away right now. But yes, I do have. There is a cross needle. It's not a 4527. The 4527 I've got. I don't know. I've got a couple. I got a 4527 and a few other ones over there. My favorite one, actually, that I got is really neat. Or I wouldn't say favorite, but my most unique one. What is that? TikTok? Yeah, I have a bunch of rack mount stuff. My most unique one. You could buy that one from me and get the cross needle. This one right here. This meter right here has 12 different elements I can hook up. So I've currently got 2 different elements on it. I could hook up an additional 10 elements to it. Actually 13 elements to it. And I could measure 13 different sources with that same meter. So very, very cool. I have some spare rack panels, I think, in Bird. So if you wanted to get a non-populated dual line section rack panel that has a dual line section in it, and all you have to do is buy that other meter and then populate it with the cross needle, then I have a combo that you could build one. You would have probably one of the only ones in existence that I know, but it would be pretty cool. With water. Yeah, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I'm not a fan of Messi and Poloni. I've had some customers with issues. Now, Messi and Poloni might be great. They might have the best connectors ever, best wire ever, but I have not had that experience myself. I've got a customer who had some Ultraflex from them, and it ended up breaking in 5 spots on the inside from flexing it too much. I don't think shipping was crazy. I quoted some shipping to Italy. I guess it was a smaller bird meter. It was probably around $80. So, I mean, it'll cost some money, but it won't be like crazy. I would assume probably $100, $120 to ship. And that's USD, of course, but hey, if you want something bad enough, you'll get it. Yeah, if I had to pick a cable that I would like the most in the smaller cables, I would pick RG400 probably. It's a flexible cable. It's got a low friction coefficient. It's got a high UV protection or UV rating against just weather in general. Then when you go into bigger cables, I would probably pick something like 1/2-inch flex because it's got low attenuation. It's very flexible, does a good job. Not very, very flexible, but flexible for what it is. Yeah, copy the LMR 400. LMR 400 is okay, but I like to go a little bit bigger than LMR 400 for attenuation. Not that you have to. It's a bit overkill, but I like this stuff right here. This is 1/2-inch flex. Very nice cable. If you need more than 30 meters, then it's better to go with a cable that has less attenuation or less loss over a given length. Also nice to have extra power handling. Whether or not you use it or not is up to you. I'm sure when you get around a contest, and some guys will push the limits on the contests. But I like this stuff a lot. I have some LMR 600. I'm not a huge fan of the LMR series cable either. That extra, the way they do their shield, I'm not a huge fan of. I would prefer to get something a little different, in my opinion. Half-inch flex at HF frequency and below, so 30 meg and below, it's going to be good for up to about 7,000 average, if not more, when you go into the lower frequencies. So if you get down to 2 meg, it'll run even more. So 80 meters or so, it would run even more. If you're around the 10 meter mark, 11 meter mark, something like that, then 7,000 average or so is what it's capable of. Smidge below that, when you hit up exactly on 30 megahertz, I think it's 6.8 kW or maybe 6.1. I don't remember. I think it's 6.8. But yeah, around 7,000 watts. And that's average. I'm actually shipping to an island right below you. What is it? Let's say that. Alessandro? Hey, no problem. Thank you guys for asking. It keeps me busy talking to you guys. So I appreciate that. All right. Hello, YouTube. I know you guys are over there sitting quiet. You guys are very patient. I know there's a bunch of you guys still hanging out over there in YouTube land. If you guys got questions on YouTube, then feel free to message me anytime. Just pop a message in the comments. It'll pop up on my feed, and I will be able to talk to you guys too. So don't feel like you guys are left out. I will respond. Gotta be careful. I'll hurt my thumb if I don't watch it. This connection stays still. This one rotates. Living in an apartment building, I have little space to run cables, and they have to make tight bends. So if you're looking for low power, anything under about 2,000 PEP, I would recommend RG400. It is very nice. This is some RG400 right here. I don't have a bunch of it that's sitting out, but this is RG400 as far as physical size. If you wanted to see how tight it can go on bend radius, I mean, very nice. So it's got a very low friction coefficient, so I'm trying to hold it. It just slides. It's also got very high temperature rating. It's a double braided shield. I like it very much. It is good for short runs, jumpers and stuff. Very nice stuff. RG400, some of my favorite coax for jumpers. All right. So now let's rotate this up here so you guys can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to set this on my lap real quick. Put you guys in this same spot I did last time with this other connector. Pull this through. Line this up on this side and this side. So I want to feel a nice positive seat, and I want to thread it on from there. Alright, locked into place, good to go. So that's connected on there. You guys can see it's not very good angle, but there you go. It's actually a pretty good angle for how tight that is. I can't even see as good as you guys can right now. You guys got a better view than me. So now I have one more to build. So let me get to work. Oh. Uh-oh. What's Cletus saying? What's up, Cletus? Hey. Gene Sisteme. Hello, hello. Talking to some Italy over here, guys. Hope you guys are having a good day. Definitely a longer evening for me, but that's part of it. I've got to get this stuff finished. To run high power, nice RG400 with double shield. Yeah, I love RG400 is nice. I build a bunch of RG400. I've currently got to build this jumper right here, this jumper right here, these two jumpers right here. That's my RG400 builds that's got to get done. I have a completed RG400 jumper, so you can see what it looks like done right here. Here's some done RG400 right here for another job that's been, whoops, sorry, wrong spot. Let me zoom out real quick. That one's done right there. I got some more RG400 that's completed right here. And then even more, wait, get over there. Even more RG400 that's completed right here. So, lots of that stuff. I did a whole marathon of RG400 a while back. So, seeing as this is going to get shipped to a long way away, we got to go to Hawaii with this coax right here. I'm going to go ahead and pull enough of it out to go ahead and get my links that I need. All right, let's measure that real quick and see what we got to work with. So I have a connector for an antenna feed point. I currently have mine split for direct feed. So I do a split feed connector, if you guys had seen. So I will do what's called a connector-based split feed. So you put a regular connector on your wire. Oh, so that 7/16 DIN connector that I showed you earlier is right here. It's already installed on this wire. Normal 7/16 DIN. And then I build a split feed right there. So that splits your feed. And that allows you to have a sealed connector right here that's got O-rings and everything. And you still have your split feed right there. So I do connector-based split feed all the time. I can do it off a UHF platform. I can do it off of 7/16 DIN. I can do it off 7/8 EIA over here. All sorts of connections. I can do it off 1 5/8. All right, let's grab a measuring tape and let's start doing some measuring. So let me zoom out on this camera real quick. Zoom, zoom, zoom. And then zoom out on this other camera over here. Zoom, 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 zoom. And you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of out of the camera shot. I apologize for that. I'm not trying to be, but I got to cut this wire real quick, and then I will be back in the shot. It's just right over here. So, I'm going to show you how tight that half-inch flex can be rolled up, just simply because This wire is going to Hawaii, and I've got to wrap it up anyway. So I'll show you how small I can wrap it up. Something like this is comfortable. This is a repeated bend radius. This is something you can do over and over again. If you want to do one-time bend radius, you can go smaller than this, but that's 1/2 inch flex. It can go down to something like that. It can go smaller, but this is where I stop at for repeated over and over again bends. Zip ties right here. No, yeah, it could be, but no, it's not an RF choke. This is just for shipping. You can make an ugly ballon for, say, upper HF, but you'll have to do about 6 or 7 wraps. But this is just for shipping. It's not for a ballon. There's definitely better RF mitigation than ballons like that, at least. All right, so let's rotate around. So this is the last one for me to finish for the night. So I've got to grab 2 connectors for this. I need this one right here, and I need to go grab one more. Did I got it already? Yes, I did. Whoop, whoop. I'm already prepared. I've listed your Spirit MD rack to panel to sell. Asked maybe if you can send to Italy. Not exactly empty at the moment, but I do have a few spare racks. Here's one rack right here. That one's not empty. There's another rack. That one's also not empty. But depending on what we can do, I can give you a price, and maybe we can work something out. If the price is not good enough, then I do have a suggestion for you, and I'll try to help you out. So don't give up if I can't work out a deal with you. Unfortunately, I have to make money off of whatever I sell. So if the money doesn't work, then I will try to help you out and see if I can help make your project work. Because I have, like I said, some other solutions maybe. I don't know if I will have them for sure or not, but we'll try and see if we can make a deal to start with. You can message this TikTok, or you can message me on Facebook under the same exact business name. I have the same name under every platform. So if you guys want to find me, you can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, or whatever else. I think I have 2 people on X, so I don't have a lot of people over there. But I am right now, currently, live on X, to be honest. That's actually pretty funny. I forgot about that. All right. Thank you guys for liking the lives. I appreciate that. If you guys don't mind, tap the screen. It does help a lot whenever you guys tap, just simply because it shares the live to more people. I'm not going to be out here for a ton longer, but I do appreciate every time y'all do that. I have no excuses, Kevin. It is not currently 5 a.m. my time, but it is not super far away from it. So I've got to get my butt to finishing this project. I've got to be done with this thing pretty soon. But it is what it is. It's got to get done. It's part of a build. I'm not usually out quite this late. I'm usually calling it quits about right now. No problem. Is it Alessandro? Is that correct? I wonder if I'm pronouncing it correctly with I call it my hillbilly accent. I try not to have too much of an accent. I try to enunciate some of my words. I use a little bit bigger words than what a lot of people will use, just to broaden the vocabulary a little bit better, or my vocabulary a little bit better, to I don't know. It would be, I think it's just prudent of me to try to come up with better words. I know Skip will be in soon. Yeah, copy that for sure. I will not be able to participate. I've got to, I've got another business that I own, so I'll be working at that one here in a few hours. So it was part of the day. Gotta get to work. All right, that is ready. 11 p.m. in Hawaii. Yes. I actually went to Hawaii last year. It was a very enjoyable experience. I liked it. It was great. We checked out. We went island hopping. We went from Kauai to Oahu to the Big Island. It was great. Good experience all overall. I'd love to be going there again this year. I would normally be going in February, but I've got another event I have to make in Orlando. Yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely pleasure. 10 a.m. coffee espresso time. Yes, sir. Coffee and espresso. All right, that didn't work. Yeah, I will. I'll be there next year, not this year for the meet and greet, but I will be there for sure. Again, I just got to. I have to finish up this other event. I'm going to be in Hamcation in Orlando. As much as I appreciate that, I mean, I think I like the idea of Hawaii a little bit better. Needless to say, I'll be there in Hamcation. And hopefully I'll meet some of you guys down there. If not, I will make some videos of it. And you guys will see what we're doing and see what a ham fest is like. I like to show you guys these events and see how they go. Morning. Copy that on the way to work for sure. All right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and line this up. We've got this one cleaned out. That one's ready. This one's good. Let's do the harder one first, which is going to be the bulkhead connector. Measure 7 mil. I don't think I'm going to beat the weather, so I'm going to at least do as much as I can to get this stuff finished. Sorry, I'm wasn't processing what all you guys are saying. It's what happens when it gets late. I get to not focus as much. All right, so you guys got more questions, y'all feel free to ask. If you guys want to talk about anything, feel free to hop in there and say something. It does not hurt my feelings at all. It's actually appreciated. So just so you guys know, it's welcome. You guys are welcome to hang out and say stuff. Oh yeah. All right, so I did that a little bit crooked. Hey, got a bunch of you guys on TikTok. Thank you guys for hanging out. If you guys don't mind, please tap the screen. It is definitely very appreciated because it shares my live with more people. and I am super happy to be able to let more people see it, because the more people see it, the more people understand how to put their connectors together. The more people understand how to put their connectors together, the less scared they are of upgrading. And I don't want to make the hobby so difficult for people that they don't upgrade and they eventually get out of it. I want them to upgrade, make their stuff better, enjoy it, and just, I don't know, that's just my goal. That's why I make these videos. That's why I use regular hand tools. That's why I'm not using this fancy tool that nobody else can buy. I specifically make these videos for you guys, so you guys can hang out, watch how this stuff is done, and maybe even do your own. I've done quite a few over the years, a lot more in-depth tutorials whenever I'm putting this stuff together, telling you guys how to solder, telling you guys how to cut these connections back, telling you how to flare it all and stuff like that. And I don't mind getting back into that if you guys want me to. Meet and greet and the less burned amplifiers. Alright, so. And drive safe, Henry. Appreciate you, man. Alright, so. Whoops. Look, we almost made a mistake again. We need U, which is the heat shrink right here. I need some on the other side, but I won't do it right now. I'll wait a moment. Nope, nope. That's not lined up. There we go. Alright. So, flare this flange out. Let's get to work on this. Yeah, man, for sure. Absolutely. We got some people driving right now that's in the live as far as, or at least headed to drive. Let's just say it that way. We won't... all you guys are cool. Thank you guys for hanging out for as long as you have. I know it's been in and out, and different people have come in and out, but I do appreciate the people who've stuck and stayed with me. That is super nice of you guys, and I hope you guys really enjoy it, because, I mean, I'm building wire. It might be interesting to some, and it's not as interesting to me. I still like it. I still enjoy what I do. I still like the challenge of putting a new connector together on a new piece of wire or something like that. But it may not be as new to me as it is to some of you guys. So thank you guys for enjoying it. Thanks for watching the videos, especially this one, because this is one on my brain right now. I'm zoomed out a little bit, sorry. I try not to put you guys in a pickle where you guys can't see what's going on. I make these videos as accessible as possible. I try to make it where you guys can see everything that I'm doing, because that's the whole point. I've got to do the work anyway. I'm not trying to hide what I do. I would rather you guys see, because that's literally the point. Otherwise, I wouldn't be live right now. I would be doing some other stuff. I'd be playing some music or something like that in the little bit of time that I got left. Alright, measure this out. Let's see what length we got. We want to see just a smidge long, so we'll go ahead and chop that real quick, just because we got the tools to do so. We're about 1/2 millimeter long. Let's measure it and see what we got from here. There we go. Pretty much dead on right there. So we just got to deburr all the way around. You guys are seeing that. Let's zoom. What does this go to? This is actually going to a feed line right now. I'm actually doing this specifically, this one, for a customer. Let's zoom real quick. Zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom in real close. This is for 1/2 inch flex. This is a 7/16 DIN connector. This is a feed line for, or a connection for a RF connector. It's commonly used in telecom, so you could see it on the cell phone towers. It's also used in a little bit in broadcast, and then I'm using it for an HF jumper for an operator, whether they be on free band, amateur, or just your regular CB band guys. I build for all of them. I don't care who you are. I don't have a problem with none of you. I appreciate everybody who gets stuff from me, and I think it's really nice to see more people get in the hobby. So I don't care what floats your boat. If you're if you deal with in the RF world, you are my friend. I like you. All right, so because you're keeping the hobby that I enjoy alive, and thank you. So I almost grabbed the wrong connector because it's late, and I'm trying to grab the male version. I need to get the bulkhead. All right, let's go ahead and remember it's got Teflon dielectric, so I've got to make sure it lines up and seats, and then I've got to slide this connector on right here. Hey, thank you very much, Abdallah. Appreciate the follow very much. I appreciate you. Alright, let's see how this is seated. I have to babysit this connector just to make sure it lines up right. It's looking like it's going on pretty good. So no complaints so far. Line it back up and tighten her up real quick. Thank you very much. BR549, hello, waving a hand. Bump, Kevin, appreciate you. Thank you very much. All right. Now that this is done that way, I'm going to pull this off real quick and take a look at it. I had to get it on there far enough to look. Very, very happy with that. So now there's a little bit of trash I have to deal with. Another little bit of trash over there. I want to go ahead and chop this off so I don't have to deal with it later. Chop this off so I don't have to deal with it later. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit of cleanup. I'm trying to stay in the shot, but it's kind of hard because I got to look closely and make sure all this stuff stays not nice and solid. There's a small amount of shavings in here, so I'm going to clear them out real quick. Super duper happy so far, a little bit more. So there's small, tiny little shavings of copper that I'm cutting out of here right now. Will they ever short it out? I doubt it, but I would rather have them out of here and not have to deal with it than have a question of it being a problem in the future. All right. Very, very cool. Happy with that. This is why it's important to check all that stuff, though. Super important. Thank you very much. What is it? Patior? Patior? Is that correct? I'm not sure if that's right. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. You guys are great on TikTok. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you guys for tapping the screen. It's very, very, very much appreciated. If you guys haven't already, please tap it some more. I've got enough of you guys that have already liked it, so it's helping share it to more people. But maybe you'll come back later and see more of my videos if you tap the screen, for one. And two, it lets TikTok know you like the video. I don't need gifts. I don't need money. I don't need anything else. But if you want to do me a favor and want to do something nice for me, like the video and share it with your friends. That's all that I need. I've had people try to give me gifts and send me stars and send me whatever else. I forgot what all TikTok has. But thank you very much. I appreciate it, but I don't need it. I don't need none of it. I just want these videos to make it to more people. To hopefully foster the next generation of people, because a lot of the guys in this community, a lot of guys in this field are getting older. And it would be really nice for some of the next generation to get into it. It would be very cool, at least for me, in my opinion. And I'm not saying anything about me not being part of that generation. I'm definitely not an older gentleman. I am younger, so I'm grateful to have been introduced to the hobby and got myself into it very much. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. You already gave me 200 more taps on the screen. Thank you very much. You guys are great. So, that female's over there. So what I need to do is I need to measure it and see how much extra I ended up added onto this connection, and I'll take it off the other side. So we added at least this much extra, 28 mil, and then we're going to go up to this connection right here. Let's just check real quick. Let me see this real quick. Let's do right here. Right to the base of that pretty much. That's going to be the same thing over here. So we'll measure pretty much maybe a little bit less, 27 mil. And then on this case it'd be 20 mil, so 47 mil. 47 mil, 47 mil right here, so 47 on the money. And we'll go ahead and measure that off right there. And we'll chop it. Choppy. There's a specific length I'm going for on this, because this is for a customer who's already got a specific length. Alright, so one more connector, and then I can call it a night. What a day. Abdullah, thank you very much. Alright, so I wish this didn't take as long as what it does, but hey, it's part of the process. Whenever you're working, you want to get stuff done. It's just part of the day that you got to deal with to be able to make stuff happen. What I would love to do is, after I finish this, to go ahead and ship it. But the problem is there's just not enough time in the day to go ahead and do that. All right, so now You know, I didn't say hey to Cletus. I'm sorry. If you're still hanging out, Cletus, thank you for hopping in the live and watching the video. I apologize for being a jerk, I guess. That was not my intention. I didn't think about it. It's late. I seen you hop in and didn't say hello. So I'm going to cut this and clean it up a little bit. So this has got a spiral helix connection. So all I got to do is rotate it and then I'll pull it off. You can see how it comes off like this. Sorry if I didn't stay in the shot the whole time. I will try to move my camera to be in a better video right there. So, oh no, I put that in the wrong trash can. I've got a scrap bin and then I've got a trash can, and that should have went in the trash. Nice. This is the best case scenario. That didn't cut perfectly, and even with it not cutting perfectly, it literally hit the best spot it could have. That's awesome. Very, very good news. So we're doing some cleanup around this edge. And then we're going to go ahead and get this right here. Build our flange. Oops, sorry. I keep, let me zoom out real quick so you guys can see better. So the only reason I'm zooming out is so you guys can actually watch me the whole time. Because if I don't watch it, then I'll move myself out of the camera shot, not on purpose, but on accident. You guys got questions, feel free to ask. I don't have a whole lot more questions in me, but I will absolutely try to power through this till the end. And I will try to answer. So, some of the last questions of the day, if you want to ask them, please speak up now or forever hold your peace. Questions are appreciated. They're not disdained. I appreciate all you guys. So feel free to ask. It's not going to hurt my feelings at all if you guys want to know something. Hello, Eric, waving a hand. Hello, everybody else. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are holding out with the weather coming in. Maybe it's not getting too bad where you're out of. So be safe. Drive safe if you're driving. Just make good decisions and just don't be ridiculous. I think that's the biggest thing that happens when bad weather comes in. People think they're able to do whatever they want to do, and they don't prepare for the conditions. And doesn't matter how old or young you are, they do the same thing. If you prepare, you're fine. I'm not saying get overly prepped where you just can't function or you spend all your money, but I'm saying just be ready, watch what you're doing. If you see ice on the road, don't drive 100. Slow down. That would be probably pretty smart, right? That's my suggestion. This is the D-Win life, life advice of the day. All right. So almost right on. There we go. Let's cut this out. Right, y'all. 1, 2. So I'm doing a deburr on the end of this connector. Deburred all the way around. Very happy with that. I did not put my heat shrink on, right? So let's go ahead and get smart and throw the heat shrink on. No questions, guys. This is the last time for you guys to ask questions. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Until whatever, the next live. Oh, let me line that up. It's a little crooked on my center conductor, so I had to line it up. There we go. That's better. No questions. All right. Have a good day, Kevin. Appreciate you. Yeah, we're calling it quits after this. This is the last connector of the night. I was trying to give somebody else a chance to ask a question, but nobody else had anything else they wanted to say. So either you guys are tired or you guys are getting ready for work. So thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you guys for watching the live. Dang it, I gotta get lined up. I'm saying thank you a little too early. Watch me break this connector and have to start over. All right. That's not going to happen, but still, I got to be careful. What is going on here? Let's line that up. There we go. All right, that's done. Let's heat shrink and call it a night. All right. Thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you guys are having a good morning, a good day today. I guess it's today for everybody, including Hawaii. So thank you very much for hanging on the live. I appreciate all you guys. Let me zoom out real quick so I can say thank you really. Zoom, 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 zoom. And then zoom, zoom, zoom. But thank you very much. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you for watching the live. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for following. Thank you for liking the videos. I appreciate all of you guys. Catch you guys later. I'll be back probably next week. Thank you. Thank you. See y'all. Y'all have a good evening. I'm going to go ahead and kill the live. All right. So I got to move this over here so I can get to controls right there. There we go. Let's move this chat right there. Back to that.